Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, and welcome to the Legends of Vinyl Visual Radio. And this hour is the Legacy Hour chat. Every Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m., we have the pleasure to welcome some incredibly talented people. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very talented person. Her name is Lisa Nocella Pacino, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrity photographer, journalist, and fashion graphic artist under the Duvet Production in New York. And I would like you to please welcome her and say hello to Lisa. And there she is. Lisa, good afternoon. How are you, my dear?
And thank you for having me. Thank you to Love and
You look
everyone who's.
you
I
look
appreciate
terrific. Thank you so much for coming. A few friends will be gathering right now. Hopefully, they'll. I send an invitation to quite a few people so they can join us today, and hopefully they'll be able to say hello. I'm sure some of them will be watching. But Lisa, this is wonderful, exciting to me because I've been so honored to have friends, being friends with you for such a long time now, and watch your work. And I respect that. And this is what it's all about. The Legends of Vinyl organization recognizes talent, and your legacy needs to be appreciated, and it needs to be kept in a safe place like the Legends of Vinyl. And we need to find out about all of the things that you've been doing for a long time. We wanted to know about Lisa herself. I want you to take us back to those days, early days when you were just getting started and starting to get yourself involved in the industry and in the graphics and as a photographer. So I don't want to waste any time because I know that we have just a few topics to talk about today, and we have obviously photography is one of those topics. We're going to be talking about Broadway. I can't wait for that. We're going to talk about the Tony Awards. We're going to talk about Met Opera and obviously disco. Yes, I love that. I mean, we are talk. We're going to talk about all of these wonderful things. So, Lisa, do me a favor and take us back to the early days as you started.
Okay. I was a teenager and wanted a camera. I bought a Canon. Well, I didn't buy a Canon. It was bought for me. And I just started photographing. I always loved images, like, the album covers, photographs,
Mm.
everything like that. And took pictures, and I accidentally photographed Joan Baez. So that was the first celebrity I photographed. And everything from there sort of slowly fell into place. My cousin lived in the same building as Gloria Gaynor. This is like a few years after.
Wow.
Lived in Gloria Gaynor. So he said, "Oh, she lives in the building." I didn't know this. So I was like speechless. And then what happened? He said, "Let's go knock on her door." And I was like, he's kidding. So, and it wasn't. And we got into her apartment. I was just like chatting away, but I was in a way, of course, nervous like now.
Right.
But I photographed her. Oh, well, I asked her, "Can I take a few pictures?" And she said yes. She gave me one of those beige cards. I think it was Polydor Records, and she autographed it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she was a disco artist I photographed, and Joan Baez was the first celebrity, I guess, famous. So those are the two. Basically, I remember those two because of that. And I just always, what happened was I was in a dark room. I had the camera first, and I was in the dark room developing my own photos. The first time when I saw the photo come up in the developer, I was like, "Oh, this is it. I want to be a photographer." I actually wanted to be a social documentary photographer for
Nice.
poverty and to, put it out in the world because people know the word, but they really, really don't know it. So that was my first, thought. But you can't make money like that. And the thing with that was like civil rights, and that's how that accidentally happened. Photographed her, got backstage. Well, the first famous person I photographed, and I got backstage, and it was
Fantastic.
Joan Baez, which was a big deal. So yeah, that took you back, but and Glory Gaynor, those two I will never forget. And of
Wow.
course, I love disco. So my best friend Frank and I, we went to all the clubs, and I used to take casual pictures, like someone whoever was performing. I don't want to start naming too many names because I say like overall, I don't want to mention names because then once you mention one name, you have
Yeah.
to mention another and another because we love them equally. We love them.
Sure.
So we loved, and of course, we loved music. So casually photographing, and then Lolita Holloway did a serious boat ride. I don't know, early 80s.
Mhm.
And there was no stage, it's a boat. So she's singing, everybody's into it, it's Lolita Holloway. Um, then everyone, she was accessible because she was on the floor. Everyone went crazy. Now they were trying to mob her. So we built a human chain. Luckily, I got photographs before that and after I got photographed.
Right.
So, you know, that's how it developed. First, I wanted a camera,
Right.
Canon, give it a plug. And from there, it was sort of accidental, but not really. And, from there, I started
Right.
slowly photographing more celebrities. And in between, I was doing graphic arts and all other things,
Hmm.
tons of stuff, actually.
Right.
Um, and then from there, it snowballed, like you said. It went more and more, and then I started photographing Broadway. And
Yeah. How did you
later on, I
actually?
got invited
How
to
did
Tony.
you got into the Broadway scene? That's like very tight, very difficult to kind of get into that because they're very well protected. These people on Broadway.
Yeah.
How did you manage to get in there?
Well, the Broadway is it's a clique, it's very tight family. And it is very hard.
Yeah.
It's like us with disco. We're like a family, and they're the same way. And it is hard to get in, especially, as a photographer. What happened, I knew a producer and a publicist, actually. She did both. And she asked me to do a couple of shoots. One led to another because she saw my work. That's why,
Right. Yeah.
she said, oh, and she saw my work and she said, will you do a few? Okay, it'd be great, Broadway.
Mm, sure.
I did a
Yeah.
few and like that. So it snowballed. And, with just the red carpets and after parties. Then I became in-house photographer for a few productions, and that became more intense
Mm,
because now you're really deeply involved. You're there all the time at a production. You're part of the production. They put your name in the playbill as an in-house photographer.
nice.
So you got, series. You got to, it's a job. It's not just fun.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a lot of work.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
it's a job, and you are now surrounded by serious, talented, and very picky people. I mean, they're very, how can I say? Well, everybody in the industry has that little ego that they have to see the pictures before is they've been posted or to the press. So yes, you had a lot of difficult. I'm sure you learned real
yeah.
quick with this thing here, right?
There's a lot of components to it, and you do
Yeah,
learn real quick. You're so thrown into it, and that I got. Well, I don't know if other people did, but I totally got thrown into it.
yeah.
So it was might have been better that
Did you
way.
ever,
Might have been better.
you knew you were confident enough in order to do all of this? Were you gradually getting into it? Um, I like photography a lot. I mean, I can see that that's one of the reasons why I enjoy and respect the kind of work you do. And so it's not as easy as people think. Just because you have a camera, and nowadays everybody has what do you call cell phone, and everybody can take pictures. But their
Right.
photography, because I was in sort of like in the advertisement business for quite some time, and I had the pleasure of working with some incredible photographers of for in that advertisement, so to speak, and you have to have a keen eye. You have to capture, You have to understand the, you have to see the whole picture. In other words, the composition of the picture. You have to see the whole idea, the lighting and everything that goes along with it. It's not that simple. Now cameras are easy. I mean, I use this cell phone, and this cell phone takes
Well,
incredible pictures and make me look like a professional. But
their phones,
the phone, I'm sorry, what was that?
their phones with cameras. We don't like to call them cameras. Phones with the camera and the side.
Okay, okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. But that's what I'm saying. You have to have the confidence to really go there and face these people that are so particular and say,
Mhm.
no, I'm gonna do, and then they go like, wow, that's amazing. That's so cool, so cool. But you didn't just do Broadway. You went further. That's all of these wonderful things were happening. All of these things was happening all at the same time in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I didn't stick to one genre like Broadway.
Right.
Like I was doing, which was accidental, but it sort of wasn't because I loved disco. I still love it. So I was doing what I loved, which was great. It was work, but at least it was, I love the arts. So I was doing what I love. I love disco. I love a lot of most genres. So I was doing a little bit of everything. Uh, and then I started doing galas, just celebrities overall. But Broadway, Metropolitan Opera, and disco, that was for me because I love all three. And
Yeah,
for the obvious, talent.
the disco was probably the easiest thing out of to do, maybe. Were you ever to which club did you like to go to do this? Everywhere's, or you had a special place that you enjoy doing it?
You can't even think of all of them. We used to go, obviously, I only went to Studio 54 a couple of times toward the end. Went to the garage, of course. Those are the two big ones, but went to other ones, tracks and I don't know, Xenons, every place. I can't even think of the names.
Yeah,
You probably, if everybody starts bringing them up, I think I was at almost every. And
right.
then I actually found in the DJ booth at Network. Network was a woman's club, and it was heavy duty music DJing. It was not one of these bars. It was a club.
Yeah.
Strafe actually performed. Uh, Sham Red performed there.
Okay.
A few others, I remember. But I photographed them, and I was, playing around the DJ booth too. We got a feel for mixing. Um, so, like I started with disco and blended in with everything. Like I said, the Broadway and everything just fell into place.
Yeah.
So, I love the arts, and those three genres are for me. And
What? Yeah.
really,
Gotcha. Yeah. Because you have also, I mean, you went from Broadway to opera to Broadway, and I mean to the Tony Awards. You also went to the Tony Awards. I mean, how many times did you go every year to the Tony?
every year. This year, unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's
shot. Yeah.
so it's not the same doing virtual, but that's everything is better live.
Hmm.
But yeah, every year. This year was disappointing, as everything else.
Whew,
That's a lot of work.
for
You
all
have
of
to
us.
be there and there, do the red carpet, and it's pretty hot, and humid, and you're sweating in a suit, and you're really fighting to get the shot. And then you have to see who's from the side of your eye while you're shooting, who's coming next on the carpet. Then behind you, across the street, they put up barricades. And if you hear people screaming to the top of their lungs, eventually someone big is coming to the carpet. So you have to look out for them. And what happens also, celebrities like to be fashionably late. So they all come at the same time, and it sort of gets, you know.
Yeah.
So work there, we have to go to the media room. So when whoever wins, we're watching on a huge screen live, like everyone in their living room or wherever. So we see, oh my God, they won. If we really want to win, we're even more excited,
Right.
your personal favorites.
Yeah.
And they come into the meeting and we all congratulate them, and it's a whole big, yeah, partyish attitude. And then we photographed them with their award, different poses. It's fun. That part's a little
Yeah,
more.
let me ask
Uh,
you, who was in all of these years, who was the easiest person to that you felt comfortable together and was easy to approach and to photograph? And who was the most difficult? I mean, we have to be honest. There's always those. I know that the respect is there, but they are difficult people. I mean, you can go
yeah,
without it. I mean, that's just natural.
I will tell you, in general, most were great. I had only a few. Most were great. And with Broadway, like I said, like anything else, like our disco friends and the opera people, so humble, so gracious.
Right.
But the most easiest one was Cicely Tyson because uh, I was doing Broadway. Then I led up to being an in-house photographer for productions, and then I was the trip to Bountiful, the in-house photographer. So I was like, oh, this is great. I'm used to being the in-house photographer. I already did a few. Then they asked me to serve as her personal photographer because she asked. So they asked me. Next thing you know, for 6 month run, I had to photograph her almost every day, and so I got to know her. And she was like, she was very old school. I love it though.
Yeah.
She was like, you have to be here, you know, come early, come in the afternoon. And if it was, she would take a nap if it was matinee. And I'd have to greet all her clients or her
Yeah.
guests, no clients, all her guests. And then if she was running late, I'd have to keep them occupied. So I felt the
Hmm.
most comfortable with Cicely, Miss Tyson, I should say,
Sure.
because I knew her. I got to know her 6 months. You're with someone every day
Right.
almost.
Right.
Almost every day you get to know them. And it's pretty wild that,
Yeah.
that happened because Cicely is Cicely Tyson.
That's
Huge,
sure. Yeah.
magnificent. And I like to interject that, also say, when she did Trip to Bountiful, I've seen it a million times because a lot of times when she went on stage, I'd go into the audience. Flawless, flawless. Um, so great.
Right.
Her every show, it was great. So of course,
Yeah.
I picked her because I her the most.
Yeah. No, because
She was the
I've seen your body of work, outstanding. People raved about everything you do. You have an incredible following, a wonderful and respect. If you go to UnderTheDuvetProductions.wordpress.com, you can see a lot of work in that website of all the wonderful pictures that you have posted there. There are people saying, I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about the picture for L.O.V. But I'm curious to know about, because it happened to me, and I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form, but I do like, cameras and so on. My first camera, my wife gave me a Minolta camera, 35 millimeter. Gorgeous. I still have the camera though. I still do. But as a photographer, the transition between film, Kodak Color 400, it was one of my favorite, fast,
oh,
very fast. And uh, the transition between, that and into now this all digital. Obviously, there is a plus to it. Obviously, were
yeah.
you're still using both because I noticed they're still selling, film.
I would love to use both, but I don't have the time. I still have my first camera,
Yeah.
and I still love film, and there's nothing like film. And
Right.
I would love to go back if I had time. I would love to just play shoot black and white on
Mm.
film, and
Yeah.
there's the convenience of digital. Digital's, you get brilliant pictures as well, but
Sure.
it's the convenience. When you were on the red carpet and had to change, that you would have two cameras, you'd have to change the roll of film. You had to be conscious of how many you take, 36. And if you rolled it yourself, you had 38.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
it was more work, but you know what? You took less pictures, so you had to really concentrate on that one. Now you
Hmm.
just could click, 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 and if you one of them you'll get good, and so it's less stressful in a way. Maybe it's always stressful, but
Yeah.
also you don't have to worry like I said, you don't have to worry about film running
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know, you start in and the convenience. So you
Is the
plug it in the computer.
I'm an old-fashioned guy. I mean, I miss the process of going into the dark room. I worked the dark room for, fashion photographers. Uh, and it was incredible. I mean, I love that. All of a sudden you put it on the tray and
Mm.
you wash it, and all of a sudden, by magic, this thing comes up to life. you know, and I understood between color and black and white the wonderful drama of black and white, which is uh, probably one of my favorite pictures are black and white, really. But that's why, and now, yeah, I still have a beautiful camera, fantastic digital. I have also two lenses that I use. I can't get enough of it. Really, is you fall in love with that kind of, watching
It's
your
the,
work. It is a beautiful thing. Yeah,
and I just as much, maybe more sometimes. There's like certain photos that look better in black and white and certain that look better in color. But I'm a black and white person. I'm a total film person. So
wonderful.
when the transition happened,
Yeah,
I sort of had a little break to absorb it because I was in the dark room. I started in the dark room my 2 last years of high school, and
yeah,
because they happened to have which was great because even though I hung out, it was a little better, and that's where I saw the first coming up the photo in the dish, the tray,
yeah.
and that's really like you said how I fell in love with it. I
Right,
couldn't believe it. It was magic. Like I didn't know it existed. I knew cameras existed. And I knew I wanted camera, but
right,
until you go in the dark, you really know.
right.
So yeah, that's and you just said it all with them, black and white and everything. I love it.
Wow, this is so great. This is so cool. I mean, I enjoy that. Like I say, this is one of the things why I wanted to talk to you, because I know that you want to tell your audience out there the beginnings of Lisa. What makes you wanted to pick up the camera at times? I'm sure you're walking around, and maybe not, but there are times that you really need a camera because there's so many things happening that you really want to have a camera ready to snap that wonderful moment. Do you do that? Just to walk around with a camera all the time, or you just?
Yeah, okay, not as more like I used to do more so, but I do. And there's funny thing about it. A couple of times, I was, celebrity gala, Metropolitan Opera, luncheon. I put my camera away, packed it up, and then I would go downstairs, from the ballroom, and I would get outside. Someone would be coming in that was very late, or something that happened a few times, and I was like, oh my God, and I couldn't get to my camera quick enough. And one actually waited for me, so I threw my bag on the floor and pulled out the camera. So now, when I leave, I make sure I carry it around. I keep
There
it
you go.
with back in the bag. Ever since that happened a couple of times, I was like, no, no, no. Until you walk a few blocks away, then you can
Yeah,
stop and put it in your bag. But yeah, I mean, I used to more so, I guess because things were different. Now, well, now in emergency, I'll use my cell phone, but
yeah.
I'm really horrible
let's
with
let's be clear on that one. That's an emergency.
at
Yeah,
emergency. And, they're not bad. I mean, they developed, but through the years. But I don't know, like all these things about it. I just okay, in emergency, I click and that's it. You know,
yeah.
um, that. But yeah, I try to carry it around, but a
That's
little
so
less
cool.
now. Maybe and now my bag is getting heavier and heavier
Yeah.
as
You're gonna
because
need
don't
somebody
forget,
to carry it for you. Yeah, even though the stuff are
yeah,
getting how can I say, more compact, but you still
right.
have to have your gear. You have to. You have to have it all. You need it.
Well, now
Absolutely.
more and it's heavier
Right.
because the cameras, if you have it all, you have all the motor drive and everything, it's heavier. The
Right.
other cameras were lighter, noticing the difference. Plus, you would have like one, two lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this just you have to have everything. It's like more accessories, more lenses. So that just, everyone just followed because one person had it then. But it's
Right.
heavier
Right.
than film,
Wow. I
so.
mean, so cool. It's so really cool. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the L.O.V. Legacy Hour chat, and today my guest is the wonderful Nocella Pacino, and we are learning a lot. We are learning a lot of things from. What would you say to the new generation, people that are really getting interested in following your career, your footsteps? What would you tell them?
It's hard. Just you go easy and you build up. Don't just you got to do it in the right way. You don't want to just bust out and be, rude. You're working with this is celebrities, not working with regular people. So you got to sort of have like a little differently with more care. So you go slowly and then you build your way up, and you go from one genre to another. And once you start to get more and more familiar and know who you're photographing, because in Broadway, a lot of people don't know. That's another thing. You really need to know who you're photographing. It's big stars, everyone knows. But in Broadway, they're big stars within the Broadway clique. But a
Right.
lot of people, if they could walk on the street, they don't know who they are. And I find that amazing because being in Broadway, I guess, I got so used to it. And we know in Broadway, this person's huge. But sometimes other people don't know that. So you got to get to know the people too.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get to know the people, it could be not a good situation, you know, if you don't. But so what I'm saying is you need to start off slow, get to know the people. You don't want to also think it's a regular person, and then treat them a different way. Not to say people should be treated the same, but if you tell them if you don't know what they've done, they get a little slighted. They feel a little bad. It's like, don't you know I'm starring in this Broadway play? Like
Yes,
that
sir.
kind of thing. So
Right.
sort of slow, hard to describe, but
Yeah.
sort of slow, build your way to know everyone. Don't throw yourself at them. Get to know them as a people first, as
Exactly.
people, and then you build up. That's what I would tell them if they're doing celebrity photography. Every genre of photography. People don't realize you have to have, that's one thing I could recommend too. You have to have a specialty. If everyone's a, professional photographer and you can photograph whatever you want, but you have to have a specialty. Sports photographer, nature photographer, wedding photographer, celebrity photographer.
Very good.
There's so many. You have a specialty with photographing whatever you want, as well. And that's key too. That's what I actually forgot. You must have a specialty. You can do other stuff, but just focus on one and then whatever after.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, I'm a photographer. Someone will say to you, I'm a professional photographer. Someone will say, okay, what photographer are you? And you're like, oh, I'm just a photographer. No way. You cannot be professional and say that. You have to have a specialty. I don't think everyone realized that. I'm just thinking now. So that's what I could say too. Because
Yeah.
you just sort of put me on the spot because I don't, I'm not a teacher of photography,
Well,
no.
but you have the
But that's one.
experience. Yeah. Well, you are already in a level that what you say it means a lot. You have a platform that you have built in for so many years, and the respect that you have from everyone is valuable. It's absolutely important. So yeah, I think that those that are listening or they will be listening to you about it, they will respect that as well. I would like to tell you about how sad we are that I didn't see last time I saw you. Obviously, it was last year. We had such a great time, Lisa, in New York City, and everybody loved the whole catalog of pictures from the Legends of Vinyl. Every year you put them out there for people to see them, and this year we couldn't make it. I couldn't do the show. Obviously, we all know that. But next year, I got to tell you, and I hope that we can see each other again 2021. I
Yeah.
believe we have a list of wonderful people, and you probably know everybody here. Alicia Bridges is going to be with us, the original Blue Magic members of the Blue Magic. Candy Staten is going to be there. Diddy Sharp, Fonda Ray, Gene Carn, Lenny Jeremiah from the Soul Searchers. Let's see, Melissa Morgan, Pamela Stanley. Let's see, Russell Thumbkins from Stylistics. The brothers, Ingram brothers, wonderful family, incredible, talented family. Oh my God. Also, Ronnie Griffith, wonderful Ronnie Griffith, and the Unlimited Touch group. And I wanted to remind everybody that we are going to have a tribute to a tremendous talent as well. Dan Harmon is going to be. Dan Harmon will Carol Williams, always coming up with great ideas, and I love her dearly. A big shout out to Carol for always being there. She's magnificent. Also, Al Magliano for bringing a lot of the proactivity into our Legends of Vinyl organization. And this year, next year's Icon Award will go to an artist, Mr. Earl Young, founder of the Tramps. And there's going to be a laundry list of DJ producers and so on and so forth. So I'm looking forward to 2021 now because I can't wait for 2020 to just disappear.
We all want here, and I hope everything works out because your events are the best.
Thank
I mean,
you.
there's guys that have great events, but you just do it right. You really do it right, and everyone, all the people you've mentioned, and all the people at your events are perfection, flawless. And I love all of them you mentioned. And you just said Carol Williams. She is one of the most gracious, beautiful souls in person ever.
Ah,
And I names because then you start saying, oh,
yeah,
But yes, and people you mentioned, so talented.
yeah.
It's incredible. And the joy they brought us
I'm
with their
surrounded.
classics.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by incredible friends, good friends. The friends that I put there, my vice president Ray Pinky Velasquez, Danny Pucciarelli, Al Magliano. There's a few other people that I can't remember because I'm having a senior moment right now. But but they know who they are, obviously, and the people that come to assist us, they help us. Sue Bell, a tremendous, she's the vice president of administration. They Jimmy Yu, they all come together to actually help because there's no, I need the help. I'm a one-man band. So I take care of the filming about the this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, I have a show. So, and I know what I want because it's up here. It's like you have it right up here. You know exactly what you're looking for. So then I put it in paper, on paper, I should say, and there you have it. But more
All great
excitedly,
people,
I'm sorry.
all great people
Yeah,
that you mentioned. So you have good people working beside you as a team, and you guys are all
yeah,
great. And
absolutely.
you put together these wonderful events, and also you recognize the artists that all should be recognized. The thing
Important
is,
to know. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's one thing that I need to explain to everybody. This organization was created to acknowledge talent, to acknowledge not just as jockeys, artists, producers, light people, technicians, people with a talent like you have. Because it is a whole army of people that makes entertainment what it is. When that artist goes up on the stage, people see this person, but they don't realize, or maybe they do, but they forget that there's a tremendous amount of people behind that artist to make that person, the lights, the sound, the photographies, and all kinds of stuff makes that person shine. But we are here to put together all of these people, gather these people, and the legacy will continue. I will make sure that the Legends of Vinyl organization will continue with, Ricky, or my wife Ricky, and she's in charge of making sure that we all have everything together. And we just purchased the trademark for another 10 years. We have 20 years of the whatever the website is. So we buying more time in order, so after I'm gone, this will continue. So one of the things that kind of makes my heart warm when you sent me a note and told me something that I almost I had to sit down because I didn't, when I was reading your note, the message you sent me about your photographs, and if you don't mind telling the people what you said.
Basically, I said I want to donate all my photographs within the music industry, such as your events and other, to the Legends of Vinyl. And all the people, like you said, and we're all a team effort.
Right.
Everyone has something to do. The producer, DJ, the artist, of course, they're like, and we all work together. I love history, and we all love history if we love this music, because now it's becoming history.
Correct.
And I do want to see it forgotten, photos forgotten. The music's going to live on, but we need a visual for it. Like back in the day, we used to pull out our album covers and we used to look at the photographs and graphics, and that was a big deal. We used to read everything in the liner and everything. So I feel the photos are really important too, to put the face, plus their history. I love looking at photos from the 50s, and I always say, oh, I wish I was in that room. So when you look at them, the photos we've taken, L.O.V and elsewhere, are all these star power in the photos, like great artists, and you want to keep it in history. So I want to make sure they're safe, and that's one thing, not bothers me, but I'm concerned about, that those photos are not lost, they're taken care of, they're utilized in history, and again, safe. And with Legends of Vinyl, like you said, we're getting older, pass it down, because we want to make sure we do not lose our history. And you're doing that with everyone, and we're all, part of it, and thankfully do it with us. I don't know why.
Okay.
Let's see.
I just lost your picture, Lisa. Just lost your picture.
Uh,
Let me do this. If you can hear me, I'm going to hang up and call. Oh, there you are. Just for.
yeah,
Oof,
and
thank you.
what? I could just button. I'm sorry. I don't know
Okay.
how that happened.
That's
I
all right.
thought I showed notifications, but I didn't.
Okay.
So, I want to make sure that they're safe in history. We have them. And like someone 50 years from now could say, oh, wow, look at all these stars in the picture. Could you imagine being there that night? Could you imagine being in that room?
Yeah.
And, they're listening to the music, because, the music's never going to die, and other generations will listen to it. They'll listen to it along with the new music that they're listening to. Because I know we listen to stuff that are older. I listen to Billie Holiday and Diane Washington.
Sure.
That's a little before my time. So I'm guessing, maybe I should assume, that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to appreciate, as well as obviously the music, even more so, but the pictures too.
Those pictures will be respected. Your wishes will be respected, and we cannot be more happier than to know that you have chosen the Legends of Vinyl organization to keep those pictures for the legacy and for us to protect. We have many people from Danny Pucciarelli to Al Magliano. Denise Montana is right now. She says, hello, my friend Lisa. She's with us
But
right now. Pinky is also there. Bob Antonielli is there as well. I just wanted to read a few people who they're with us right now, and they're chatting right now. Sue Bell is there. Let's see who else is there. Michael Irisari is there. She says, "Hello, Luis. Please send my friend Lisa Pacino my love and respect. She is such a talented and loved human being. We were at so many disco shows together over the years. So thank God that thank you guys for showing up, and I know that you guys are listening, and so this is great, Lisa. This is so fantastic. I'm like a little kid here. Um, so
Oh,
go
it's
ahead.
because our music, we get so excited, with the
I can't hide it. I can't hide it. But no, we got to talk a little bit more about, the important part of making Lisa. What do you continue doing what you love, which is more important. That's why you're so good at it, because you do what you love. And those that do what they love to do, they come up winning. And the future is still ahead. We still have a lot to do. You're not gonna give up on anything. So, what is in your mind right now for the future?
well, all of us are trying to get past the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, we all want to get rid of that. So that sort of drew us all off, obviously, everyone. I want to get back to normal, to start photographing the Tonys again. I want us to start having everything like the L.O.V events and, other Michelle and Michael. They're great with their shows, and so
Right.
many other people. Don, all these people do these great events, and L.O.V, we want it back to normal. We want those events. We want your awards. So
Yeah.
thinking is, okay, go back to normal. I want to photograph the Met Opera again. I want to photograph Broadway. I want to photograph at L.O.V. I want to see everyone again. So I want to continue basically, but grow the library of photos
Well,
because
you
there's never enough.
you have the insights about. I know that they shut down Broadway, not indefinitely, but I think till the end of this year. Or
Well,
what's up with that?
June 1st is to be the first day back, but
Mm.
insiders think it's going to still be the whole year. So, I mean, it was March. They were closed down like everyone else. This is unprecedented. This is crazy, and obviously historic in a bad way. So June 1st, it'll be the first day open.
Mm.
That's the goal. We don't know if that'll happen. Same thing with the Metropolitan Opera. September 2001 next year
Right.
is their goal too. Not sure if that'll happen. They might have to wait till 2022. We all hope not.
Ouch.
With L.O.V,
Oh
you
my
want to do
God.
the event next year. We missed
Mm.
the year. So yeah, that's what's happening. And obviously we know about the Tony Awards. That was pretty
Yeah.
devastating. I
Sure.
think that was a history like everything else with it.
You keep in touch with some of these people. Obviously, you have developed a relationship with some of these people, and obviously, the anxiety is there, the
Hmm.
disappointment is there, because as an artist, stage is priority. I mean, even
Yeah.
if you're sick, you know that you want to be there. You want to be in front of the audience. Um, we all share the same passion, whether you're in a DJ booth or the stage is a stage. So I can only imagine the thousands and thousands of people that in one moment everything ended, everything just shut
Yeah.
down, and the
So
shock.
what you're saying to me is basically what everyone else is saying. You want to go back to normal, the way it was. You want to go back to the Broadway. They want to go back to the stage and perform again. We want to have these your shows. Disco artists want to perform again.
Mhm.
Metropolitan Opera. That was insane as well. And the galas. And then you also think it's not just being at the Metropolitan Opera or Broadway and watching, uh, the shows or the operas. It's behind also, you're missing galas,
Yeah,
awards, the opera
yeah, sure.
awards, the annual luncheons, the galas, stuff, you really look forward to. I
Yeah.
look forward to everything, but for me, uh, it's hard. It's still hard until this is over.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sense out of this and making some plans. We have to. Producing is really crazy. I mean, you're always producing something in my head. I'm producing already, talking to Philadelphia, to my friend, my dear friend Frankie, who's a Tito,
Oh,
who's in charge of Philly as far for as my board of director. And he and I were talking about it, and says, "Why don't we do something maybe in the spring of 2021? Let's just tactfully touch that." And they want us back at that place. Remember Adelphia, that place in it's not necessarily in Philadelphia, across the bridge from Philly, called Adelphia. Beautiful. We've been there twice already, 2 years on the road.
well,
And
too late.
they said that they want our show to go back there. So that will be probably my first show. I don't know how many, but I wanted to do it in a very safe way. We have to learn how to maneuver that. The place is rather large, and I think I can do the same thing as I did in New York. Arrange tables, do tables in so many areas, keeping the social distancing and do a show like that because I've been talking to pretty much everybody from Denise, and Denise knows that. Denise, Carol Williams, Joe Harris, I mean everybody, for crying out loud, and we all on the phone trying to make a decision like that. Then we're definitely going back to, hopefully, and everything is going crazy in Europe as well. Our
Oh,
plan to
yeah.
go to Europe, I mean, was canceled this past June. So we're thinking about going back to, Legends of Vinyl is now in Europe. And they loved us there. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it how popular this thing has become. And so we wanted to take the show on the road to Italy, maybe England as well. Or,
You,
so.
whole European countries, all of them, they love disco.
Oh,
Really, well, in Europe,
yes.
it's big, like here for us,
Oh,
and
man.
it's a connection we have with them.
Ah,
Italy,
yeah.
just I know like in Latin America, it's not as big except Brazil, I believe. That I'm not sure, but I know
Yeah. Yeah.
Europe, Europe really loves disco, which is great.
Well, yeah, they're keeping the legacy going in Italy and Europe, everywhere. It's really, even vinyl is still king in Europe. Everywhere you go, they still value what we don't care for anymore. I mean, come on, that's crazy. But
So
yeah, that's I'm sorry. What's that?
we do still love vinyl. Vinyl reminds me of the analogy would be the film, the old days with the film and the old days with records. There's nothing like them. There's nothing like film, and there's nothing like
No,
records.
no.
And this what music the DJs are doing now is like what I'm doing with the digital camera. There's nothing like the sound of vinyl,
Yeah.
and there's nothing
And
like
you
the
know what, Lisa? The new generation is actually acknowledging vinyl because
oh yeah,
they appreciate the analog sound of vinyl. It's like amazing. We went from vinyl to digital, and they thought that digital was just the biggest thing since Seven Up. All of a sudden, they realize that vinyl is better quality, and they know.
hmm
And then all of a sudden, you have many moves. You take the vinyl. I mean, you take the cover. You see the artwork. You turn the cover and you see all the information that you have on the cover. Then you take the vinyl out, you see a label, you read all the information there. Then you put the needle on the record. All these steps mean so much.
yeah,
And when you put that needle on the record, you feel the warmth of
hmm
analog. And the new generation is actually bringing back vinyl. Sales are up, and we should continue to push for that because it's that important for all of us to gang up. Otherwise, the big corporations that they're just stupid. They don't realize that, and people have become smart. They're not stupid, you know. So, but okay. So I'm sorry. I just get carried away when it comes to vinyl, Lisa. But
Yeah.
we're talking about you know doing so many things in your life and continued success. We want to wish you nothing but the best. Can't wait to see you. You obviously you are in the States right now, right? For a
Yes.
while.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not doing, but things are just crazy everywhere. I
Right.
love New York, so of course I'm going to be
Yeah.
partial. But New York's New York.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
love New York.
I
You know,
I grew up in New York. I'm in Florida. You know, I call it a waiting room. Uh,
staying in New York.
and I
Not
guess
that.
it is what it is. But this here it's laid back. It's a
Hmm.
little too laid back for me because I grew up. We all what we experienced in New York City,
Right.
and you kind of get this kind of a mood like you're being in the tropics. Yes,
Hmm.
you're near the ocean. I guess you're on vacation maybe, and then so you feel like you don't have to do much of anything. But I can't do that. I have to always create, and that's just me. So when the next time you should come down when everything goes back to normal, Lisa? We love to have you down here
Thank,
in you know.
thank.
Yeah.
Love to be
When
there.
was the last time you came down to Florida?
Oh, I haven't been to Florida in years, a long time.
Yeah.
But I've been to the events here. I've been to the Philly events. I've been to obviously all the New York events. That I do my best at any.
Yeah.
But and I want to make sure the photos are safe with you
Yeah.
and art because I know how great you and everyone. I just trusted that they're going to be safe. I do worry about it. I
Yeah. Well.
live about it. I don't want them to be just destroyed and put literally in the garbage. I want to be safe. And
That will never happen, Liz. I'm sorry about to tell you that will never happen. The respect is you can ask anybody who who's how protective I am of what we do, how
oh,
much
that's one.
respect I have, and I'm looking forward to. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for a particular place that I like to open, if anywhere I can actually turn it into an entertainment uh, place as well as a museum because I get a lot of phone calls and messages of people trying to donate, for example, sound systems or even record
Right.
collections and memorabilia, which I was talking to someone yesterday about that. Just that, my God, I was talking to Danny Pucciarelli. He was telling me that he was showing me all of these pictures and the history from his days and as he was traveling as this that and the other and that belongs in the museum of the Legends of Vinyl. So I'm reaching out to people with that would like to invest in getting us to have a venue, a place for
Hmm.
us to bring the entertainment, which is all the people who belong to the Legends of Vinyl, and have a place of their own, and they can come and see the people who are there in the Hall of Fame, and so on, and there is a place for everyone. And so people can actually walk through and they can see all of these wonderful things and the videos and the pictures and the plaques and all that kind of stuff will be there. It's here, and I know that if it's here, I know it can be done, if you know what I mean. So, you know,
Well, that's about the pictures, though. I like to say I am worried about them, but I'm not worried about them with you.
thank
I
you.
know you and Legends of Vinyl, then I have a peace of mind. I don't have to worry. That's a given. What I would worry is if I didn't give them to you, but I know I am. I'm donating because
Okay.
what we don't want to lose our history.
No,
You know,
no, we don't. Yeah,
that's why I take them.
yeah,
We immediate gratification of the photos, wonderful, but we have to think long term, and I love the history of them as well. I like the immediate gratification like all of us. But in my mind, when I take a photo, some of them I know, oh, this one's going to be, stand the test of,
yeah,
time and,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
so I know they're safe. Now,
Thank you.
like, relax about that.
Thank you so much, Lisa. On behalf of the Legends of Vinyl, and on behalf
Thank
of all of us, all the members that are actually next to me all the way through, and they understand what you are doing and appreciate it. On behalf of all of us, we want to thank you for being so kind and for also giving me your time to go through all of this. And I thank you so much, and I wish you nothing but the best, Lisa. Stay safe, and please be patient because I know that we're all in the same boat. We all have to be a little patient, but you're never going to lose that talent. You're a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I can't wait to see you and thank you personally in 2021. Because we're gonna have a good time together. All right.
Yes,
I love you a lot. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. Okay.
I'm here, and thank you for all you do and everyone else involved.
Thank you, Lisa. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to thank Lisa Nocella Pacino for being so kind. And as I always say, remember, L.O.V is the message.